Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for joining in. As you can see guys, the price of Bitcoin here in a daily time frame, in a smaller time frame, is showing this bullishness. But why is the bigger time frame not confirming that? I mean, if we look at the price action of Bitcoin here in a weekly time frame using this Wyckoff's distribution schematic tool, any sort of impulsive movement until the price does not break out of this resistance line which we have between 24,500 24,700 range, we still have to be very careful, because this could still turn out to be more as a fake out, and price after that again continuing this rally here to the downside, because we right now are finding ourselves in this phase A from Wyckoff distribution schematic 2. And does this make sense? Because if you look at this here in the medium short term, this could make sense. I mean, the price of Bitcoin here in the upcoming days showing this bullishness, because we are also assuming that this formation, what we are forming, is so-called double bottom. Double bottom is a bullish continuation pattern, and according to this bullish continuation pattern right now, the upcoming days where we could be possibly getting gravitated around this neckline area, guys. Yes, this neckline from this double bottom is where we could be getting gravitated, and only after breaking this neckline and flipping it into support, we know this trend is ready for this new impulsive movement from there on. Because we know any sort of a rejection around this area, as I've already said, this could still be playing out here like this. I mean, price showing consolidation and finally breaking it to the downward direction, because in a weekly time frame we are inside this phase E area from Wyckoff. And now let me show you with another example why in the upcoming days before this 21st of September, guys, the price of Bitcoin could continue this impulsiveness. Now, before I start talking about another bullish scenario which could be playing out here, just a friendly reminder, if you haven't destroyed that like button, if you haven't commented yet, please do it right now. A single like and a comment matters a lot, because it is definitely going to push the algorithm so that YouTube can recognize our videos or our channel. Thank you very much. And now we are going to talk about this scenario here, because if you look at this in a weekly time frame, and if you also simply at this falling trend line here in this manner, you can see this falling trend line actually makes a lot of sense, and it's also indicating that before we choose a trend direction, an actual trend direction, this area is where we could be possibly getting gravitated. That was the reason why I showed you with the previous example, this neckline around 24,500 24,700, this could be looked as our potential target, because right now if this trend continuation is going to happen, we are getting gravitated towards this falling trend line before choosing a trend direction like this. Because here in the past price action, you can see after testing the resistance from this falling trend line, we started showing this corrective movement. We were forming lower highs, lower lows continuation pattern. So this time, if the price really wants to show an actual breakout, then we have to overcome the resistance which we have between 24,000 25,000 range. So if that is going to flip into support, then expect this trend continuation to happen. I mean, price of Bitcoin heading towards this 30,000 range. But for that, we have to overcome some very strong obstacle. But what I also want to add into this video is this simple formation which is unfolding here during this downtrend. If you look at this previous example, the price of Bitcoin here also formed a double bottom, but as soon as we got approached around this falling trend line, what happened? The price failed to break out of it and also started with this corrective movement. And now if we look at this formation, this is very similar, guys. I mean, price is forming double bottom, and now we are also getting gravitated towards this falling trend line. So if this rejection is going to be there and price is going to fail to break above it, then please be careful, because this continuation could be looking like this. I mean, price of Bitcoin following this phase E from Wyckoff and also starting this corrective movement from there on. But right now, look into another weekly time frame, for example this one here. Now if you look at this another weekly time frame, you can see another very interesting scenarios unfolding, which is also pointing us the upcoming days could be favoring bulls, because you can see this 200 weekly SMA which failed to hold the price, started with this corrective movement, and now we are seeing another relief rally where we are getting gravitated one more time again towards this 200 weekly SMA. So this line is also another reason why we could be getting gravitated around this 200 weekly SMA before getting any sort of a resistance. Now you can see, guys, this 200 weekly SMA is looked as our potential upcoming target. This falling trend line before choosing a trend duration is looked as our potential target, and even the neckline from this double bottom is looked as our potential upcoming target. And beside this example, guys, beside this example, if you also look at this in a daily time frame, a very interesting scenario is unfolding. Now, before I switch the chart, let me remind you guys, we have around $8,550 bonus available for our community members in the description down below. Bybit, which is my favorite crypto exchange, is giving around $4,450 bonus, and Phemex around $4,100. And additional to this, the first 50 users who sign up under Crypto Anup, deposit at least 1,000 USD, trade at least 1,000 USD, get an airdrop of 100 USDT. And along with that, all newly registered users will get 0% makers fee on derivatives until the end of September. So if you are an experienced trader, do grab this opportunity. As we are already aware, we have talked about this falling wedge, we have talked about this CPI indicator, and according to this leading indicator, if you look at this price action carefully, where are we finding ourselves? We are finding ourselves exactly at the top CPI line. Now, if I would remove the CPI indicator and only look for this September CPR, the top CPI line is where we are finding support at this current stage, which is around 22,300, 22,400 area. So if the daily somehow manages to find proper support above this top CPI line, then expect this trend to show some consolidation around this area, and then a movement here towards this monthly arrow line, which is around 23,600, 23,700 area. So we know, guys, if this is going to fail, I mean price failing to find support at the top CPI line, the central CPI line, this central CPI line, which is around 21,500, 21,600, is going to be the most important support line for Bitcoin. So if we do manage to remain above this line all the time, then expect this trend continuation also to continue towards this 23, 24, even around this 25,000 range. But one thing why this central CPI line matters a lot, and also is one of the most important support line here in a daily time frame for Bitcoin. If we look at this example here, you can see we did talked about this right angle broadening wedge formation, and we also found out, according to this right angle broadening wedge formation, once we break the resistance, this key line of resistance, which was around 21,500, 21,600, this was the exact line where the central CPI line was also lining for Bitcoin. You can see this central CPI line was also around 21,500, 21,600, and I said it very clearly, once this central CPI line is going to get broken, the top CPI line will pull the price, and it did. You can see we came exactly at the top CPI line, and now we are fighting to stay above it. So according to this right angle broadening wedge, our target around 22,000 played out perfectly. Now any sort of a weakness, any sort of a reversal here in the medium short term, expect the price of Bitcoin to find support around this central CPI line or also the previous temporary raise line. We could be coming back to retest it like this, and then finally showing this bullishness here in this manner. Because if you look at this exact scenario here in a smaller time frame, if I switch this into hourly time frame, we are forming this so-called rising wedge scenario. Let me show you here. So if you monitor the price structure like this, you can see, guys, the price of Bitcoin is forming this rising wedge, and rising wedge is considered as a bearish scenario. So if we are going to break the support which we have around this 22,200, 22,300 range, then expect this trend continuation to happen and retest the support around 21,500, 21,600, find support around that area, and again continue with this bullishness towards this monthly arrow line, towards this 200 weekly SMA, towards this falling trend line, and also the neckline from this double bottom. So as you can see, guys, things are looking very interesting for Bitcoin, but as long as this proper resistance is not going to get broken, please do not get excited and also do not over leverage yourself. So these are some of the scenarios that I wanted to share with you in today's video. If you enjoyed my work, then please destroy that like button. For those individuals watching this for the first time, hit the subscribe button and the bell. Now by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye.